it is football season, right? It's the best time of year, okay? From here on out, there's one thing that matters. That is the team, the team, the team. Drive, move your feet. Sit, hit. Go. As a head football coach, you have to be somebody that runs into fires, not away from fires. You have to see a challenge. Obviously, I'm aware of the things being said on the internet about Frankfurt football, and as a head football coach, you have to look at that as a challenge and understand, okay, yes, we've had a couple of down years. There's an opportunity here, that there's certainly no shortage of athletes. There's certainly no shortage of facilities. There's no shortage of community buy-in. The pieces are there. It's just, if I'm going to go, it's go big or go home, right? Dogs on me. Dogs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dogs! Good stuff, boys.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Week 2 of Indiana High School football. A big thank you to Scott Blessing with Back Home Again Media for getting things started on the broadcast tonight by putting that video together. I'm Harrison Silcox. I've got Rob Albright with me here tonight for Frankfurt and Clinton Prairie, as tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abstract Technology Group, doing IT differently, making it simple. Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family first. FiberHawk, fast, affordable FiberHawk. Also, Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. And the Frankfurt Eagles Post 976, people helping people. And the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. As we welcome you into the pregame show that is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family first. Once again, I'm Harrison Silcox with you on the broadcast. As I turn things over to Rob Albright, we've got two teams who lost at the opening week of the season. The Frankfurt Hot Dogs hosting tonight, and it is the Clinton Prairie Gophers on the road looking to continue a winning streak that they've had against this Frankfurt team that stretches back the last 3 years. Rob, as we look ahead to kickoff here, what can we expect as these two teams start to kind of feel things out early in the season?
Well, the old coach's cliche, right, is that every team improves the most between weeks 1 and 2, right? So this is the time for them to show kind of what they learned last week and get better in week 2. Frankfurt had a tough one last week. They lost to Clinton Central and then didn't score and only racked up 139 yards of offense. So for them, it's about trying to figure out who they are offensively, how they can move the football, keep the ball on the field, and then obviously get a very strong Clinton Prairie offensive team stopped as they lost last week to Frontier 37-26, but they piled up some offense and scored some points. So to me, it's going to be a game of Frankfurt trying to figure out how to stay on the field offensively, keep Clinton Prairie out of the end zone, and then Clinton Prairie kind of just getting a little bit better from their last week, getting Frankfurt stopped and getting their first win of the season.
When you look at Frankfurt, the Hot Dogs being the home team tonight, obviously last year a tough one going 0-10 on the season. They open up this year's season unable to get any points on the board as they fall to 0-1. But this is a team that it is a bit of a transitional time. They've got a new head coach in Justin Kinsey. And so what is that kind of like, do you think, for these players, right? There's obviously the hunger to get after it and go get those wins, but they are a team that is in a bit of a transition period.
Yeah, he took on a difficult job here, and we're about to do the national anthem, I think. But
and yet we will pause for that national anthem. Rob, I appreciate you pointing that out. We'll be back in just a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit mintel.net to sign up today.
Day and Ginda Funeral Home, proudly putting family first, strives to care and honor the families of Clinton and Carroll County in ways that share the loved one's story. In our effort to serve your family at the highest of quality, we have added our own crematories, one for your loved one and another crematory for your furry family members. Contact us for information on how we can serve your family. Day and Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
And welcome back to Frankfurt High School as you get a good look at the marching band right there on your screen. Once again, I'm Harrison Silcox, Rob Albright with me tonight. And before we went to break there, Rob, we're in the middle of Frankfurt just being a team that's in a bit of a transition and kind of what that's like for the players.
Yeah, and it's interesting to have a school like Frankfurt in the same conference, in the same town as Clinton Prairie, who's got a little bit more football tradition. Frankfurt obviously has a huge basketball tradition. They've filmed blue chips up here. This place is a big basketball town, and they've never really had a lot of powerhouses in football, but they do have a lot of size. They've got athletes, and they've got a coach who's really passionate about football and making this team better. So he's got a tough job. I think he knows it. But what he does have is kids that obviously work hard, and he's got some size and just trying to put things together. So looking forward to seeing how they improve tonight.
Talking about some of those kids who work hard, that leads us into our player to watch tonight for the Hot Dogs, that being Dennis Barkley.
Yeah, he had 54 yards rushing last week. The team only had 139, so he's obviously kind of their go-to, their bell cow. Averaged about 3.5 yards a carry last week, touched it 15 times. I'd be surprised if they didn't kind of force-feed him tonight and try to get him going. He's got some speed. He's got the ability to get outside, but he's really coming inside the tackles runner. He's a nice, tough, strong kid who's really good inside the tackle box, as they say, and can get you 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust. They can keep the ball in his hands all night. Tonight they've got a good shot.
And he can also throw the ball as well. He does have 1,000 yards through the air when it does come to throwing, but yes, has been taking on a bit more of a rushing role here early in the season, and before this year has proven already that he could do some of that. Rob, I'll also turn it over to you for Keys to Victory tonight, brought to you by Tier 1 Meat Company, where every cut is elite and every customer is family.
Well, as we talked about before, to me this game's about up front. Frankfurt's got some size, but Clinton Prairie is a really good rushing team. They've got great linemen. They're fast, they're strong, and they're technically sound. And so they ran the ball real well last week. And so it's like any game. It's a battle of up front. And then depending on that battle, how well can you tackle? How well can your linebackers fill the holes? How well can your safeties come up and help? And how much can you eliminate big plays in the running game? And on the offensive end, Clinton Prairie is going to want to control the ball. Frankfurt's job is to limit them and get on the field offensively. So to me, ball control in this game, which should be a pretty heavy rushing game, is going to be really important on both sides of the ball.
And we've talked plenty about the Hot Dogs so far, but we'll spend some time talking about the Gophers as well. Clinton Prairie mentioned that they also did lose it Week 1 game to Frontier, 37-26. But they have won this matchup against Frankfurt the last 3 times that these teams have played against one another. Brady Allen looks like he is going to be the starting quarterback tonight for Clinton Prairie, but it is worth pointing out that while he can throw the ball in this matchup last year, he only threw the ball twice, had 1 completion and 11 yards. A lot of the work in this game last year for Clinton Prairie came down to them just being able to run the ball very efficiently. So how much of that, plays into a team's hands where they don't really necessarily need to air out the ball? It's kind of like, it's the cliche of, right, your running game and how successful that can be in football. And so how much of it is an advantage when a team can get that advantage in the trenches, can run the ball, can work the clock, and kind of control things?
It's obviously an advantage. It comes down sometimes, though, to how greedy a coach gets and how much he wants to play around and see what he's got. Brady Allen's a very, very good quarterback. He's smart. He's a lefty. He throws a good short ball, and he's really efficient, kind of throwing the ball side to side and then getting out on the edges, but he doesn't have to. But if the Coach Slicker wants to do that, then he'll throw the ball as often as his coaches want him to. They don't have to, but we'll see if he does that. He does have some good receivers. He does have talent on the outside, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how if they do want to control him on the ground, and if they stick with that or not.
And we need to talk about that ground game with Clinton Prairie, but we've only talked about the quarterback. One of the players who's likely to get a lot of touches when it comes to rushes is Hunter Cooper. This guy's had over 450 yards rushing last season, up at about the 478-yard range. Had a very good season a year ago, and this matchup last year, 17 carries, 102 yards, had a touchdown as well. He is wearing the number 28 tonight, is his senior too, so he is dependable, and he is good when you give him the rock, Rob.
Yeah, he averaged about 47.5 yards per game last year. I expect that to kind of go up for him this year. And he's obviously a bell cow for him. He can touch the ball lots of times. He's durable, a good back. And then if they decide to throw it, number 4, Braden Jarbo is a very good receiver. He comes back as well, averaging about 37 yards a game receiving last year. So Clinton Prairie's a pretty versatile offensive team. It'll be up to Frankfurt to learn how to stop them. And then defensively, you have Casey Nabinga, who is a great safety for Clinton Prairie. I look for him to kind of step up. He wears number 4 or number 17. He steps up in the hole. He had 12 tackles last week. He had 2 forced fumbles, a recovery of a fumble, and a sack last week. So there's really some really good talent on this field tonight, and looking forward to seeing it.
So that is Clinton Prairie, who you are seeing making their way onto the field to get things started tonight. Kurt Schlicker is their head coach on there. He's in his 4th year with this high school. He is 16-17 after last week's loss, so he's looking to get back toward 500 on the year. Gophers were 5-6 a year ago, lost in their sectional semifinal to Sheridan 48-20, which is how their season ended a year ago. Schlickler's most wins that he's had in a year at Clinton Prairie back in 2023, had 6 wins that season. And Rob will turn things back over to Frankfurt as we anxiously await their entrance onto the football field here, as they'll be coming in stage right now as we get a good look at this. That is your Clinton County Sheriff on the bike.
Yeah, a good little way to start the season for their home games for Frankfurt. And while we've got 2 seconds, and I want to make sure, Harrison, we also welcome you back to the football booth. It's been a while for you.
It feels good to be
welcome
back, Rob.
Nice to see you.
I hear I've been partnered up with the best in my return. That's what I've been told. So
I don't know by who, but thank you very much for that. So we'll see if we have a good night tonight. So far, so good. And here come the hot dogs.
And here come the hot dogs indeed, welcomed by a very warm home crowd here on a great night for Indiana High School football. And these nights early in the season, Rob, it's a lot of fun. The weather's still good. Maybe throw on some long sleeves and some shorts. You come out in that. We haven't hit the time switch. We haven't fallen back yet. So you get a little bit of sunset that's going to creep in throughout the game as well. And it's really quite the beautiful scene that we have painted for us here in Frankfurt.
I don't know who remembers week 2 last year, Labor Day. We had a huge storm that came through Indiana. It delayed games and canceled some games, and it was a really tough week. So this one on Labor Day weekend,
quite the opposite.
It's just glorious out here tonight. It's supposed to be the same way tomorrow. So last year on week 2, we earned this tonight. It's absolutely beautiful here, and you can kind of look at the sky. It's gorgeous. The sun's out. It's 70 degrees, and it just doesn't get any better. Welcome back to football season.
Absolutely. And we will return to talking about Frankfurt, and I was going to get into their running game a little bit just before the team came running out on the field. We did touch on Dennis Barkley, who's kind of been, as you mentioned, that bell cow carrier of this offense so far this year. But when you look at this team statistically, just 1 week into the season, it does look like they do try to feed a handful of different mouths on offense. Francisco Vega being one of those guys, just a sophomore, 5'11", 200 pounds. He did have 8 attempts, 34 yards on the ground last week. Young guy, but pretty good size to him. You know, what kind of ability do you think that brings to you in the running game when you stand at nearly 6 foot, 200 pounds?
Well, we'll see. You know, the size is there. When you get into the playing varsity football, you're playing against people that are older than you are, and they're more mature than you are, so the size can be a little bit misleading, but he certainly has the body. Does he have the toughness? Does he have the physical strength? And the strength doesn't always come with size, so it kind of depends on really how he's able to master his durability and then get hit several times and really be a sub for Barkley sometimes and kind of take the load off of his shoulders.
So it is Frankfurt out in the blue uniforms across the field. You see Clinton Prairie wearing their white jerseys. As we've got our official standing in the middle of the field, that is Matthew Bushy. And our officials tonight brought to you by Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, where recycling makes sense. Jacob Shupe, Matthew Bushy, we just mentioned. Michael Foster's also out there, Peyton Alley, and Seth Smorelli. As you see their names pop up on the screen. And a huge thank you to officials today. Wouldn't be able to have these games without them, so keep that in mind when you're in the stands at games this year, or if you are kind enough to join us on the stream. And so, Rob, we talked about this, just being week 2, you're starting to feel things out, and you put yourself in the mind of a head coach. What things do you typically like to see out of your teams when you get into that second Friday of the season?
That's a great question. As a coach, I think leadership is the most important thing as you're trying to build a team, especially coming off of each team came off of a loss. So what do you do during the week to make yourself better, improve? And the coach holding kids accountable only goes so far. You have to find players that hold kids accountable and hold their teammates accountable if you really want to get better, especially coming off of a loss. So it tests your mental toughness. It tests your ability to kind of deal with adversity. And this would be fun to see this week who comes up and steps up and becomes the leaders of these teams.
Let's go ahead and check out starting lineups for tonight, brought to you by Ardente Dental. Healthy smiles start here. As we get a look at the Frankfurt offense, which will come up here in just a moment here on your left. So something worth noting on the 2-deep roster tonight, Kiefer Dooley was mentioned as the starting quarterback for the Hot Dogs, with Dennis Barkley slotted in behind him. So we will see if that continues throughout the night. Dooley, no passing statistics in his high school career. He does have 6 rushes for 18 yards. And now we'll go ahead and we'll switch it over to the Frankfurt defense and what they bring to that side of the ball. This defense is looking to make some stops tonight and get their first win in over 2 years. And now for the visitors, the Clinton Prairie Gophers. Their starting lineup on offense, as Rob and I have highlighted a couple of these players, or rather that's their defense that we're looking at.
That is their offense there.
Or their offense, pardon me. Brady Allen is the quarterback that we have mentioned. As you see him at the bottom there, number 12, and now we will actually flip it over to their defense. Apologies, Rob.
That's okay. I'm not sure what an SB is. I'm trying to figure that out.
That's what I was trying to figure out as well. Thought it was a new version of the safety position that they invented, but we know Jackson Price is playing SB tonight.
He is tonight.
For Clinton Prairie, we'll see how they play.
So that's how I figured that out.
The Kai Jacobs is a guy to watch out for in terms of receiver departments. We've talked a lot about the rushing numbers, but Jacobs does have a rushing touchdown in his career. And then Braden Charbo is one of those wideouts that we mentioned as well for the Gophers offense.
And so Frankfurt's going to kick this one off, and Clinton Prairie gets the ball first. So we'll see that offense, and we'll figure out what an SB is when it gets on the field. We'll put him on there and see where number 5 goes. That's what an SB is.
Slot back, maybe?
Slot back, maybe, yeah.
That might be a good guess there. And so those are your starting lineups for tonight, and we hope we've got a good one on our hands, Rob, as highly anticipated Week 2 cross-county matchup between Frankfurt and Clinton Prairie is moments away from kickoff.
And that cross-county matchup is always fun. In any county in this state and anywhere across the country, it's always fun. Clinton Prairie did a nice job just kind of covering the kick to get the ball at the 40, so good starting field position. He didn't try to do too much with that, just covered it up, and off we go offensively.
And tonight's game is brought to you by the Frankfurt Eagles. Post 976, serving our community since 1905 with over 900 members locally. The Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfurt. So here we go, 1st and 10 Gophers setting up shop just inside their own 40-yard line. It's going to be a pitch out wide, and the first down is going to be picked up right off the bat by Hunter Cooper.
Good cutback run. You saw up front there, Clinton Prairie's line really pushed Frankfurt kind of back into the defensive backfield, and he wasn't touched for 7 or 8 yards there, just on a simple toss sweep to the right there.
Let's get another look at the blocking that he had in front on that play as he broke it out wide just near that 50-yard line. Going to be spotted at the 49 in Gopher territory. 1st and 10. One play going on this drive. And a big hole across the first down marker once again is Hunter Cooper, as that rushing average is getting some solid help so far tonight. That was Gage Kuzmix, by the way, on the handoff, too, in white for the Gophers. They mentioned Brady Allen, but he was not under center on that first snap. 3 different quarterbacks played in this matchup a year ago for the Gophers. I mentioned they didn't throw the ball very much anyways, and now Allen is back out on the field for this snap.
And you called it early. Just if you don't have to throw it, they may not have to. Up front, Clinton Prairie so far 2 plays in is really good and doing what they want to do with the running game.
2 receivers on the near side. That's Jarbo in motion, and they will drop back to pass. Allen, the lefty, fires downfield. And was that a catch on the far sideline? I believe it was. And what a grab by Alex King.
They ended up calling it incomplete. He ended up with the ball. I think it hit the turf. The Frankfurt defender was there. Good throw to the outside. They called it incomplete, so we're 2nd and 10 now.
2nd and 10. Good eye by you, Rob, on the incompletion there. Alex King trying to put an athletic grab on the sideline. His own bench seemed to think that he got it, but that's not the case. So that's the first unsuccessful play of this first drive from the Gophers. A few plays in here.
As soon as I said they weren't going to throw it, they did. So I've already been wrong once, 3 plays in.
4 on the line of scrimmage, and it's 4 that is brought by Frankfurt. Doesn't matter, though. It's another good chunk picked up on the ground by Cooper near that first down marker, and he got just enough.
A good tackle there by Dooley. He stepped up and made the play a little bit late, but he got there. Still a first down for Clinton Prairie.
So, Rob, really the start that the Gophers would want to get to offensively here. They're getting the push at the line of scrimmage. They're getting the running game going. They had that one incompletion, and then they made it up for it with 10 yards in the very next play.
I think they know they can do that, so they're going to try and do this a little bit. Just nice, easy pitch and catch there to the outside. Nice catch.
Now, this is a completion. That's Kai Jacobs on the grab. Just short of the first down marker.
They call that a stick route to the outside. He just took about 4 or 5 steps, turned around, quarterback threw it to him. Nice 6-yard gain there on a throw from Allen to Jacobs on a good stick route to the right side.
So right on the fringes of the red zone here, coming up on a 2nd and about 3 from the 20-yard line in hot dog territory. It is the Gophers trying to get on the board first and on their opening drive of the game.
And so far, they just kind of run a base offense. There's not been a lot of motion, not a lot of tricks. Just snap it and go and beat them up front.
That's Cooper again on the carry.
Just like that.
And he shoulders his way forward, and that is another first down as the Gophers continue to march forward. Just under 9 minutes left to play in this first quarter. And we might be looking at our first points on the board here if the Gophers can keep this pace up offensively.
So far, they've shown their ability to do exactly what they want to do offensively. They did miss the one throw, but other than that, everything's been a very positive play for them. That was their 3rd first down of the drive, and they're already in the red zone at the 13-yard line looking to go in to score.
Cooper wearing 28 in white in his senior season. 9 touchdowns a year ago. It's Allen who's going to pass and scramble out on the far side and will step out of bounds. A few more yards picked up there. Go ahead, Rob.
He made a real nice read there. He was trying to do the pass fake to the outside, just the pass fake here. He looked at that route to the end zone that was well covered, so what he wanted wasn't there because the cornerback didn't bite the fake, and he just scrambled to the outside and gained 4 or 5 yards, a nice positive first down play.
So Allen showing off a bit of the scrambling ability that he has as a quarterback. Picked up about 4 yards on the play. So 2nd and about 6 to go. 5-6 yards.
Coach Slicker has to be happy with the offensive output so far by Clinton Prairie. They're doing about what they want to do on every play.
It's Kuzmik's back in at quarterback for this snap. He's got Cooper to his right. They've been out of the shotgun a lot here. Kuzmik is going to take it himself, bully his way forward just inside the 2-yard line there. And it is a 1st and goal, I believe, on the way here for the Gophers as they get closer to that end zone. Just over 8 minutes left to play in the first.
I couldn't tell if that was a broken play or a called play. It looked like he tried to hand it off to somebody that wasn't there, so he just took it himself up the middle and got himself a 1st and goal.
Either way, it's a productive play. If it was a broken play, that's one of those that your head coach is breathing a deep sigh of relief that you didn't turn it over on the sideline, I imagine. But here we go, 1st and goal. Got a player in motion pre-snap. Cooper's going to get it anyways, pushes his way forward and crosses the plane of the goal line, and it is the Gophers who score first on their opening drive and make good work of it as well. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the opening quarter as Hunter Cooper gets across the goal line. 9 touchdowns a season ago, and he's got 1 so far tonight. And we will see if it is a 2-point conversion that they go for here afterwards. And it looks like they're going to do exactly that. And it's in and out of the hands of the wideout, Trendon Kaiser. Kai Jacobs was his teammate who tried to find his other teammate in the end zone. Pardon me. He was kind of caught in 2 minds between whether he wanted to scramble or opt to pass. Did not, so it's just 6 points. That is on the board.
Maybe now we know why they don't throw it very much, maybe.
Maybe, Rob. And we will see what Frankfurt's offense can do in a moment. We will take our first break of the night. It's the Gophers by 6 on the ISC Sports Network. And welcome back. We've got the Gophers just about ready to kick this one off. 2 men back to return for Frankfurt.
Nice little efficient drive there by Clinton Prairie.
And that kick will bounce out of play. Flag comes out of the official's pocket. It's the first time that we see the flag tonight.
He almost looked like he did that intentionally. There was nobody over there from Frankfurt to return it. So Frankfurt did a squib kick, and Clinton Perry almost intentionally kicked it out of bounds. So that ball will come out now to the 35-yard line to start things.
So some friendly field position coming up for the Hot Dogs, and we'll see what we get from the home team on their first offensive drive of the evening. Again, Kiefer Dooley, 8 and blue, was mentioned as the starting quarterback on the 2 deep.
And they had 11 out there. They had Barkley out there, so we'll see what his role is. And
so it is Barkley. He's got a whole bunch of big bodies around him, but I believe he's lining up under center, Rob.
Yeah, they're just trying to run a little heavy all the way right now.
And so the handoff goes for very minimal gain. It's going to be a 2nd and long coming up for Frankfurt.
Yeah, the difference you're seeing is the push that Clinton Prairie is getting versus the push that Frankfurt got there. I'm not sure if that's experience or youth or what it is, but Frankfurt's got the size. They just don't have the push. And so far up front, Clinton Prairie's owned this football game, 1 play into their defensive series here in the first quarter.
Battle of the trenches, you talked about it in the pregame, Rob. That line of scrimmage scrap is just such an important part in every football game. So back under center once more is Dennis Barkley as the Hot Dogs look to pack it in. A lot of motion, and the handoff just goes up to the middle anyways. And about a 3-yard gain, so 3rd and 6 on the way for Frankfurt.
If you can't get that push up front, it's really difficult to move the ball running it. There's going to have to be at some point some outside game from Frankfurt if they're going to try and win this football game doing that. They've got to have an alternative to it. It
is a 3rd and 7. Hot Dogs just now breaking the huddle. They're patient in between plays. Barkley runs over to the sideline, gets the play call from his head coach, and then communicates it to the rest of the team. Vega, the running back in the backfield. Vega gets the carry, does have a hole up the middle, is met at the waist by a tackler, gets just across that 40-yard line. Short of the first down marker. And Frankfurt flirting with a 3-and-out here. We'll see if they bring the punting unit out this close to midfield, or if head coach Justin Kinsey really wants to go for it tonight in the cross-county matchup.
They ran an option motion there. I think they're setting something up for later. They brought the back from left to right and then handed it to the fullback up the middle. That will set up, though, an option for Barkley to either keep it or pitch it to that motion back, and I think that's going to come later.
So here we go, 4th and 4. Offense still out there and looking like they're going to run a play as well. Barkley under center once more. And a whistle from the official. Flag comes out of his pocket from the right side of your screen. And it's going to be a penalty that goes against Frankfurt.
And that's just a killer. You got a 4th and short. You want to go for it and try and establish something, and then you get a lineman move and set you back 5 yards, and now you have to kick it back to a team that just scored on you in about 7 plays. So a tough start there for the Hot Dogs.
Punter Logan Light out to boot this one away. Which I believe that's Darren Barkley who's back to kick this one. Does indeed, nearly blocked. Bounces down across the 40-yard line. Jacobs to pick it up. Now he goes across the 45. Room to work along that sideline before he gets pushed out of bounds right around the 30.
Really well blocked by Clinton Prairie there. They had a nice seal. There wasn't a lot of contact, but there was a really nice seal and kind of a wall form, but to get that return left, Clinton Prairie did a nice job to get about 25 or 30 yards on that return.
We got a flag that came out late on the play as well.
It might have been a late hit. He kind of threw that aggressively like he was upset.
And so we will see if that does wind up being the call. If so, that's 2 penalties here late in this game that'll really hurt the Hot Dogs. If there's a late hit there, that's a decent chunk of yardage.
He's going to back it up toward
Clinton Prairie will be able to move, but yeah,
they're backing this up Clinton Prairie's way.
Yeah. So it might wind up actually being a break for the Hot Dogs here. Their defense under a little bit less pressure, not so far deep into their own territory.
Yeah, the call was unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm not sure if something was said or if there was a shove or some words were said, but again, that's a killer. Those dead ball penalties, you just can't have it.
So that 15-yarder will push it back to Frankfurt's own 48-yard line as the Gophers offense comes back out onto the field. So we saw one drive. We saw 2 different quarterbacks, 3 different people throw the ball, if you want to count the 2-point conversion, and Kai Jacobs listed as a wide receiver, not necessarily a quarterback, but they have gotten a little bit creative with their play calling, the Gophers have. This is Brady Allen, who's quarterback on this drive, out of the shotgun once more with the tailback to his left. And it is Cooper who gets the carry. Imagine that'll be a common theme tonight as Cooper gets just across the 45-yard line, and his big-bodied offensive lineman helped push him forward a little bit more. The bench fired up after that one, 2nd and short on the way next.
You can sort of see he ran a little straight up and down that time. I'd like to see him get a little bit lower, but he really did a nice job with his lineman's help of finishing that run, and Cooper with a good gain of 7 yards on that play. Just off tackle, nice and simple. So if Clinton Prairie wants to stay that way, they can do it all night long so far.
So coming in from the sideline, Gage Kuzmik's back in. And he's going to take this snap as quarterback Cooper to his left. As it seems, Kuzmix might have just a little bit more of that dual threat. We have seen him run on a few occasions. This time he's going to swing it out to the far side. Price caught the ball, and it's a very minimal gain.
That's that quick pass we talked about earlier. And Allen can throw that one. Kuzmik can throw that one too. Wasn't very well blocked on the outside, and the cornerback made a nice tackle, came up and made the play here. You can sort of see the receiver whiffed on the block. Corner came up and made a nice tackle with some help from the linebacker.
From the Hot Dog 40, it's a 3rd and 2. Frankfurt could have really used a stop here to build on some momentum early in this one. 3:38, clock still moving here in the first. Shotgun formation once more. It's Allen who awaits the football. They'll drop back to pass. The lefty slings it. It's caught for the first down and then some.
Really nice comeback there by Trendon Kaiser. He came back to get the football. Ended up at about a 12 or 15-yard gain there. Just another stick route. Came back to get it. Got his hands up, caught it, owned that last yard or two, and then made a nice run after the catch. Good job.
Kaiser 62 yards receiving a year ago. Nice catch and run on that play to keep this drive alive for the Gophers. Already leading by 7.
And if he runs that kind of route all season long, he'll have a lot better season than 62 yards. That's a nice route by him. Find that little hole in the soft zone, came back and got it. Nice gain after the catch.
Kuzmic's back in at quarterback, this time under center. Cooper's behind him. Player goes in motion as Kuzmic's will roll out. He has a player open, elects to go deep, and it is caught just inside the 5. One more move from Jacobs, and he's into the end zone. The drive got started with a great punt return from Jacobs, but it looks like he might have stepped just out of play, maybe. The scoreboard shows 12. And it looks like it will be counted as a touchdown for Jacobs.
That was a really patient play there by Kuzmic's. He waited on that play to develop. It wasn't there at first. Developed late, made the throw late, and hit his player wide open for the touchdown. Nice play by Clinton Prairie all the way around. Well blocked and well executed offensively.
The Gophers electing to throw the ball a lot more tonight than they did in this matchup a year ago. They're going to try and go for 2 once again this time around. Give it to Cooper right at the gut. And he jogs that one in, make it 14-0, 2:33 left to play in the opening quarter. As the Hot Dogs will get the ball in just a moment. We'll see if their offense has any answers. We'd like to also take this break in the action to remind you the broadcast tonight brought to you by Day and Ginda Funeral Home, with locations in Frankfurt, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Day and Ginda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information on our services and community involvement, please visit dayandginda.com. Day and Ginda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. So, Rob, home team obviously in a bit of a tough spot when you're a run-heavy offense and you're down by multiple scores. You really need a juice play to kind of come back in this one a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it pregame. It all starts up front. And so far, Clinton Prairie has owned up front, and they've owned the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. What Frankfurt has in size, they lack so far in push. It looks like they lack it in experience. So Coach Kinsey's got a real difficult job that he teaches kids. Making contact isn't enough. You've got to get pushed. You've got to have those legs strong, especially to go in the fourth quarter. And so far, Clinton Prairie's going to run that line of scrimmage.
So this kickoff will stay in play and is returnable for the Hot Dogs. But not much space there for Darren Barkley. Just at the 30-yard line is where Frankfurt will set up shop. You mentioned that offensive line, the size that Frankfurt brings to the table. 4 of the 5 starters at least 6 feet tall. 3 of the 5 starters at least 230 pounds. Dominic Hoskins, a huge body in the middle at center, a senior 6'3", 335-pound guy. So there is the mass there to get the push that you're talking about, Rob. But it's just a matter of also kind of matching that physicality a little bit, it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know how much experience these kids have playing football. It's kind of like a basketball player. Hey, you're tall, play basketball. Hey, you're big, play line. It's easy to.
And so it is another running play and plenty of room to work with this time around. And a good chunk of yardage. And the first down of the night for the Hot Dogs comes courtesy of Davis Jaden, the junior, 150 pounds, 5'8", found some space and was able to get forward for a nice gain there.
Yeah, he had 19 yards last week and almost had 19 on that play. Nice quick hitter up the middle, broke it for a big yardage. Nice job. Good first down there for Frankfurt. Maybe that'll start something for them.
Barkley under center once again. Francisco Vega behind him. As the Hot Dogs continue to pack it in on their pre-snap formations here, as Vega immediately met into the backfield and goes absolutely nowhere. That is Hunter Cooper bursting through the line of scrimmage for the tackle for loss.
Well, what happened there is the defensive lineman got off the ball faster than the offensive lineman did, who knew the count. And so got in the backfield immediately, made the tackle before he even got touched. So a mistake there by the offensive line for Frankfurt.
That puts Frankfurt behind the sticks. 2nd and 12 coming up. As Cooper making his impact felt on both sides of the ball in this first quarter. 1 minute left to play. 14-0. Gophers currently lead. Barkley this time will roll out. Heaves one downfield and got too much on it, and it is picked off. Running the other way with the ball, that's Jacobs once again, and it is a third touchdown in this opening quarter, and the second from Kai Jacobs. He did it as a receiver, that time on the pickoff. And we do have a flag down.
That's going to be a kind of a defenseless player crackback hit on right. You'll see it on the screen right there, where they call the defenseless player in a block. I'm not sure I agree with the call. I don't even agree with the rule, but I know that's what they called.
So that is going to wipe off the touchdown, if you are correct, Rob. And a huge break there for the Hot Dogs. I didn't quite see the player who threw that block, but that was a good eye on you. It was kind of a tip drill a little bit with Kai Jacobs coming in and cleaning up late and then turning on the Jets.
I'm not sure if that's a defenseless player rule or if it's a crackback block rule, but it was on the quarterback who made the throw. He was trying to make the defensive play, and there was a blocker out in front that he kind of blindside blocked him and took him out of the play. Maybe he hit him high. I don't love that rule. It wasn't an illegal hit, but it was a blindside hit, and they're going to call that to try and protect the defensive players every time.
And so, regardless, it is still going to be Gopher football, just no touchdown. So they've got some field to work with here back on offense.
A timeout by Frankfurt. I'm sure Coach Kinsey kind of wants to gather his team here and regroup a little bit, because that's a big turnover. They had a nice offensive gain on the first play of that drive, and now they're back on defense again, having given up 2 long touchdown drives. So really important for him to regroup, get them to focus and see if they can get a stop and get back in this game. They figure they can move the ball offensively at least a little bit on that nice carry back there by Jaycox, and so they need to get a defensive stop here and get their offense back on the field. But that's a big turnover.
So while we're in the timeout, do want to also thank Healthy Communities of Clinton County. The Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition understands the important role health care coverage plays for athletes and their families. We partner with CKF to provide free expert assistance to enroll, use, and maintain affordable coverage. Our certified navigators are available to set for uninsured Hoosiers as a trusted teammates. Call 1-888-975-4CKF and tell us the county where you live or work. And then also the Willow Creek Barn. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfurt, Indiana. Our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Out of the timeout, 49 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Gophers already up by 2 scores. Allen out of the shotgun formation. Cooper up the middle once again. Plenty of room to work with as he goes across the 35 and some blocking upfield before getting tripped up by a handful of tacklers right at the 30. So marching again, go the Gophers.
Good fake of the jet sweep on that play. They brought number 9 in motion. That's Jacobs across the middle. Faked the handoff and gave it to Cooper up the middle. So they had a little bit of a hole. Good fake of that play and big gain there for Clinton Perry. I'm going to make sure I tell my fiance Erin about the Willow Creek Barn. A good place for us to have maybe a reception up here. My family's old stomping ground up here in Frankfurt. We'll do that.
You're thinking ahead there, Rob. It's good thinking on you.
Yeah, I bet I get outvoted, but we'll see.
Shotgun formation once again for the Gophers. You've got 4 up on the line of scrimmage for Frankfurt. Cooper gets the carry once again. Another hole opens up, this time to the right. Marching his way inside the 15 as the first quarter expires. It's right there on the field, but flip it is where we're going to pick up when the second quarter begins. It is the Gophers in front, 14-0 on the ISC Sports Network as Cooper has them back in the red zone.
Running a small business. Your hands are full. We can help. FiberHawk partners with local companies by providing business-class internet, phone, TV, and customized bundles to meet your needs. Our fiber-powered system delivers reliable speed with enhanced security. Running a business is tough. Contact FiberHawk today and let our expert team give you a hand.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
And getting ready to start the second quarter of play. Gophers not quite out of the field yet, but they are knocking on the door once more. They're on the hot dogs 11-yard line. Hunter Cooper's been all over the field tonight, the running back for Clinton Prairie.
And what a tough runner he is. He just gets in that second level and lowers his pads and he's looking to hit you. He's a good back.
So we'll see if Cooper gets the call once again. This time Allen will pass, throws near side, in and out of the hands of Jacobs. For narrative's sake, that would have been an interesting touchdown for number 9 in white, as he had a pick 6 called off because of a flag. That's how the Gophers wound up with the ball on offense to begin with. It's a Barkley interception.
That's a couple of drops so far by Clinton Prairie, so maybe we sort of see why they don't throw it a whole lot. I think we're going to see Cooper on a little running play here from the 11-yard line and see if they can knock it down into the end zone from there.
The strength in this offense is absolutely in the running game. The statistics back that up as well, as Kurt Schlicker has this team working well on the ground. As Kuzmic's and a quarterback this time, Cooper gets the carry up the middle, tripped up just inside the 10.
Good stop there by Frankfurt. Make it a little bit more difficult now for him to punch it into the end zone from about the 7-yard line.
Get a stop here. You can give
from the 8.
Schickler a decision to make. If they can't punch it in the end zone this time around, do you go for it on 4th down?
I think probably so. They've not shown a propensity to kick, and you got to do something from down here. So I think we're 4-down territory here for Clinton Prairie. Time for their linemen to kind of show why they've owned the game so far, and Frankfurt's only got a 3 or 4 man front up there. So
this time it's Jacobs giving the handoff. Cooper inside the 5. It's 3 tacklers who bring him down.
Pretty nice tackle there by Jaden Davis for Frankfurt. Good job on the stop.
Yeah, we will see. Get another look at Jaden Davis, 4 in blue here to help pull him down. A couple other players in the mix there as well to get that stop. Francisco Vega, the running back on offense for Frankfurt, in there to make the tackle as well. And Rob, you called it. Going to keep the offense out here, it looks like, on 4th down.
Yeah, I want to compliment Jaden Davis on that play. What you want your safeties to do, and what he did on that play, was to step up in the hole and really deliver a hit and make sure you stop a running back and not just kind of play tickle and touch the guy. He came up and made the tackle from his safety position. A really nice play there by him.
Play tickle. Interesting. I got a toddler at home. That's where I play tickle.
Sometimes you see it on a football field, especially with some defensive backs that don't really want to hit you. That was a nice play by Davis there.
So Jarbo lined up in the backfield this time around out of the shotgun formation. A whistle stops play, though. We've got a timeout called by Clinton Prairie. And while we do have a break in the action, I want to thank another one of our sponsors, Tier 1 Meat Company. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we take pride in delivering locally sourced premium beef and pork, the kind of meat that honors the land, respects the craft, and fuels families with real flavor. From custom processing to mission-ready catering, we bring the firepower to elevate every meal and every moment. Founded by veterans, every cut is elite, and every customer is family. Step into Tier 1 at 128 West Catherine Street in Flora, or visit us online at tier1meatco.com. And all of a sudden, I'm hungry, Rob.
I love food sponsors. I was just thinking that one of the best parts about doing this job, you go around the state, listen to different sponsors in different parts of the state, and Tier 1 Meat Company is new to me, and I'm going to have to try Tier 1 Meat Company for my next catering job, or maybe just someday for lunch.
Maybe you want to, yeah. Well, who's coming to this game hungry today? It's been the Gophers on offense. They've really gotten after it since kickoff. They scored on every drive that they've had the ball so far, including their opening drive. Cooper this time is in the backfield. Kuzmic's in at quarterback, so they switched things up a little bit in the formation that we saw pre-timeout, as you got 2 wide receivers out left. And Kuzmic's is going to throw it in that direction, and it will be a touchdown. Once again, this time it is Braden Jarbo getting into the end zone. And he had a couple receiving touchdowns a year ago. He's got one here tonight. And that is 20 on the scoreboard, and a two-point conversion is what we await next with 10:37 left to play here in the second quarter. Gophers well in control here in this one.
That's the second passing touchdown for Kuzmix tonight. We sort of see who their passing quarterback is and who their running quarterback is. And Kuzmix is obviously a pretty good arm out there. That's his second touchdown.
Kai Jacobs here awaiting the snap. We'll see if there's any pre-snap movement. There is just that. Jacobs rolling out to the left, jukes past a man, floats it to the back of the end zone, and it is a successful two-point conversion. Braden Jarbo give him the TD, give him the extra two on top of it. 22-0 is where we find ourselves now.
Good little improv play there. Jarbo got open in a hole in the zone back there, high pointed the ball and brought it down for the two-point conversion. Broken play turns into 2 points for Clinton Prairie.
Broken play. We'll take a break on the broadcast. It's Clinton Prairie 22, Frankfurt 0 on the ISC Sports Network.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Both teams out now for our next kickoff. Frankfurt here to receive. Last drive out on offense. Dennis Barkley threw an interception. He's got 23 interceptions on his career to 5 passing touchdowns. He's running the football, has been the strong suit of this offense. Over the last handful of years, as this one is booted out left, it's going to stay in play. It hugs that sideline for a little bit, but you see the flag fly from the official on the far side of the field. So it's a friendly field position once again for the hot dog drop.
That'll come back out to the 35. That's the second time they've kicked the kickoff out of bounds. It looks like they're trying to just kind of find a hole, put the ball someplace on the ground in the open field and hope that it stops for them. That time it didn't, so they'll have the ball, or the hot dogs will, at the 35 and see if they can get some offense going.
Yeah, it was Quincy Allen who was anxiously watching that football tumble on the far sideline, just hoping that he wasn't going to get in trouble from his coach and that he was going to get the friendly roll out of bounds. And fortunately for him and the Hot Dogs offense, that's exactly what happened.
And that ball's a weird shape. Sometimes it bounces in weird ways, and that time it didn't, but it almost did. And I think he panicked there for a second, hoping that it was going to go out of bounds.
So Dennis Barkley, who took that blindside block in the last drive on offense, is back out and under center. Vega, the tailback. I believe it was a bobbled snap. It looks like Frankfurt got it back. And they're able to get a couple of yards out of that play.
That's one way to do it. I see a couple of Frankfurt players just trying to finish blocks on that play more so than they have so far. Maybe they got a good talking to on the sidelines and there's a little bit more aggression coming.
Just trying to look for any sort of push advantage they can get on that line of scrimmage. As run heavy as they are, as Barkley gets the play call. Just under 10 seconds to get the snap off. Man in motion. Barkley will toss it out.
Really nice
and a good
tackle.
pickup on the outside, right at the 40-yard line is where Blaine Varner comes to a stop.
And that was an option motion we saw earlier, this time to the other side, but it came from right to left. That's the one that we saw earlier that they didn't run. They were setting that up earlier, and they actually got some good positive yardage, a gain of 3 or 4 yards there.
The 3rd and 5 on the way next. As we'll see if the Hot Dogs try to break it outside again for consecutive plays.
This is a big play here for Frankfurt. I'd like to see them get a first down, kind of get something rolling. I don't want to have to go back to 4th down if I'm them.
And Barkley will hand this one off, and it goes for no gain on the play. Another 4th down on the way for Frankfurt. Just their second 4th down on the evening. That kind of gives you an idea of how Clinton Prairie has been able to control possession, but also you go back to that interception that happened on the last drive as the Hot Dogs weren't able to get to a 4th down. Last time they were in this position, Rob, they did decide to go for it. Looks like that may be the case here again with Barkley jogging back out to the huddle.
And then they had an illegal motion on that play, and it took a 4th and 3 into a 4th and 8. And they have big James Lozano in there. He's a junior, 5'9", 215 coming in. Looks like he's kind of set up in the middle of the field there as a fullback, so we'll see if he's...
That's a pre-snap motion from Varner, and I believe that whistle is because head coach Justin Kinsey has called a timeout. And while we are in a break, would like to thank FiberHawk, now available. FiberHawk Fiber Internet, super fast speeds, no more buffering, perfect for all sizes of business. FiberHawk offers every speed to meet your internet needs. For more on offerings and availability, go to fiberhawk.com or call 765-922-HAWK-FAST. Affordable FiberHawk. And then also Wampler's disposal service and recycling. Wampler's is a place where recycling always makes sense. Please call Wampler's at 659-3721 for all of your trash, recycling, and scrap needs. Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, family-owned since 1948. What do you think the conversation is here, Rob, as we steer things back to the football game at hand is for Coach Kinsey in the huddle with his team, facing a big 4th and 5 down by 22.
If I'm Coach Kinsey, my conversation with my team right now is, okay, what kind of game do you want this to be? Are you going to show your toughness right here? Go get the 4th and 5, keep the offense on the field, go score a touchdown and get back in this thing, or are we going to fold and just let them have their way with this? So this ought to be a pretty creative play, I would think, by them. Something different than their setup certainly is different than it was before.
Player in motion. Barkley's just going to give it to his running back, and you called him out just before we went into the timeout there. Big James Lozano finds his way out onto the field. He gets his number called and makes the most of it. That is our first down we've seen from the Hot Dogs tonight. They're knocking at the door at the 50.
I like that play call a lot. That obviously is a great, big, strong athlete, and he runs like it. That's the first time we've seen him touch the football tonight. It certainly will not be the last. That was a great play by him. It's actually pretty well blocked, too. So good play call, good execution, big first down there for the Hot Dogs. I'm happy for them to get something rolling here offensively.
Looks like Lozano's going to stay out of the field as the running back as well as Barkley goes under center. They give it right back to him. This time he's met in the backfield. Picked up a yard or two on that play.
And what he did there is exactly what you're supposed to do as a big fullback. He fell forward, added yardage to the end of the run. He got hit in the backfield, still got 2 yards out of it. So good positive yards there by Frankfurt. He gives themselves an opportunity here now, 2nd and 8.
Hunter Cooper in on the tackle for the Gophers in the last play.
Hunter Cooper's a busy guy tonight, isn't he?
He is. You got to love it. There's two-way players all over high school football. You see them all the time here at Indiana. It's really fun to watch the ones who know how to impact games, as we've seen so far tonight. As Barkley rolling out of the pocket to his left, and it's pressured. It goes out of bounds, tumbles late. No flags from the official. Barkley was able to pick up a decent chunk of yards. And 3rd and about 6 coming up.
And if anybody's watching this and wondering why there's no call there, the tackle was initiated inbounds and finished out of bounds. So it was an inbounds hit, so that the continuation call there was why there's no flag.
Kyson Habinga was in there on the tackle, as Barkley really has the most we've been able to see him stretch his legs tonight. Last time he rolled out of the pocket was his only pass attempt on the night, which was a tipped interception. And now we've got movement here pre-snap.
Another dead ball penalty there from Frankfurt. And again, that's one of those things Coach Kinsey's not going to be happy with. We talked about Kyson Habinga a little bit ago. He's a really, really good safety. Again, he had 12 tackles last week. Very, very good football player for Clinton Prairie. I expect him to have an impact on this game as it night continues.
12 tackles and a sack to go with it as well, and that loss to Frontier. And that was a false start on Cameron Cook, the left tackle. That's a sophomore. Moving a little bit early there. So now it is 3rd and very long. Barkley shuffles back and then goes back even further as Cooper's there for the sack.
And the flag on that's going to be two kids in motion as that play snaps, so that you can only have one person in motion when the ball's snapped. And on that time, they had 2 of them. That'll be an illegal motion call against Frankfurt.
Rob, we've seen a lot of pre-snap movement tonight from both sides. It's featured a lot for the Hot Dogs here, as it looks like the punting unit may be on its way out. But how important is it to just be synced up correctly as an offense?
It's critical, obviously, and it takes a while, especially if you have teams that don't have a lot of experience and haven't played together really as kids. And it takes a while to really understand not only the coach's offensive scheme, but how to execute it. And so far, Frankfurt struggles with that, but they've obviously got some ability. Just haven't gotten there yet.
Darren Barkley out to punt it away, and it goes out of play just before it hits the Gophers' 40-yard line. So they will take over at the 41 in their own territory. And while their offense waits to set up shop, I'd like to thank South Fork Restaurant. Dine in or carry up. You're ready to get hungry again, Rob. The South Fork Restaurant is known for daily lunch and dinner specials. Fresh, never frozen, whole catfish, hand-battered tenderloins, and award-winning onion rings. The kitchen is open Monday through Saturday from 11 in the morning to 8:30 in the evening. Come join us at 105 South Glick Street in Mulberry, Indiana, or visit southforkpub.com for our latest menu options.
This part of the state known for catfish. There's a place in Colfax called Miller's. It was there for a long time. It burned down a few years ago, but is well known for their catfish. So now we got a new option now here in this part of the state.
Something to think about post-game as Cooper trying to break one free as he gets across the 40-yard line, dragging tacklers with him before he finally goes down. And it's another big pickup from the running back for Clinton Prairie, who's having himself a Friday night here. He was finally brought down at the end of the play by Jaden Davis.
He's sort of built the same way that Lozano is for Frankfurt, and you can see how difficult it is to bring down a back of that size and that thickness as he's getting into the defensive backfield. He outweighs the kid trying to tackle him, which is why it's so important up front to own that line of scrimmage so he gets to that second level and can get extra yards on about every play.
Kuzmik's dropping back to pass. Rolling out of the pocket from some pressure, eyes downfield, dumps one off short, and it is in and out of the hands of Jarbo, incomplete.
He was trying to hit the home run there. It was well covered on the outside. Frankfurt's doing a nice job on their downfield coverage. Their cornerbacks are getting really nice tight coverage on the outside, so that deep pass is not there. He made a decision late to go underneath and just kind of didn't make the connection, but he was looking to go deep for the home run there on that play.
So it looks like Brady Allen's going to step back in at quarterback this time around. It's really interesting what Frankfurt does on offense. They did this last year as well, Rob. Multiple quarterbacks they bring in and out of these games. But not only that, you've got one who's throwing lefty and another who's throwing righty.
I think that'd be difficult as a receiver to try and receive a ball from a right-handed player that spins one way and then a left-handed quarterback, the ball spins another way. That might be a little difficult to adjust to. Granted, the throws aren't into tight windows and they're not hard right at your fastballs, but it's a difficult thing to adjust to, I think, as a receiver.
It's a short gain for Cooper there, and it might be the receivers who have to go to work on this play in a 3rd and long. We'll see if Clinton Prairie does want to air the ball out.
I think if I'm Coach Slicker here, I'm going to just try and run 2 plays up the middle, just as tough and hard as I can, and here we are, stop it. So far, you haven't proven you can do it consistently, so I want to make sure my linemen know this is on you right now, but maybe they'll throw it, but I wouldn't if I were him.
Kuzmik's the righty back in. He will throw, and the drop back pressure does come, but he goes deep, looking back in the direction of Jarbo, who does come down with a reception this time around just outside of the 10-yard line. And on 3rd and long, it was no problem for the Gophers.
Shows how much I know. Good throw, good catch. Again, he high-pointed it. Same thing he did on the 2-point conversion. About a 30-yard gain there down to the 10-yard line. Nice catch there by Jarbo.
Jarbo dropped the last time his quarterback went in his direction. He led the team in receiving yards last year, was second on the team in rushing. So a versatile athlete when he can get the ball in his direction, as the combo between him and Cooper has proven to be tough to stop. It's Allen who's back in at QB for this snap. You know who to his left, Hunter Cooper. As he rolls out, it's a pitch to the left. Cooper's got blocking and steams full speed ahead into the end zone. It is the Gophers getting 6 more to make it 28-0 with 4:14 left in the second quarter. And we'll see if they elect to continue to go for 2.
Good play there by Clinton Prairie. They had receivers right and then ran it left into the boundary. They pulled the right guard over and they overloaded it. Nobody there to make that stop. He got to the second level, and the receivers blocked well downfield. Nobody there to make that stop. Good play there by the Gophers.
It's another touchdown for Hunter Cooper. This time we've got Kai Jacobs under center on the 2-point try. Cooper to his left. Jacobs did complete the pass in the last 2-point conversion. This time it goes to Cooper. He breaks free to the right, shaking a tackler on his way across the goal line. Successful 2-point conversion for the Gophers. Make it a 30 spot here in the first half with 4:14 left to play. And while we have a moment as we wait for the kick teams to come out also before we hit the halftime break, we'd like to thank Laser Edge. Laser Edge Turf and Excavation keeps your property looking sharp and projects moving forward. From mowing and lawn fertilization to directional boring, trenching, and excavation, we deliver precision and reliability every time. Cutting clean, digging deep, and building strong. So, Rob, I'll bring you back into the fray here. We're getting close to halftime. It's been not the best night for Frankfurt. This was the final score of their game a week ago. How do they try and get some momentum with the clock not being their friend here late in this second quarter?
It has to happen one play at a time. You have to find positive yardage. You have to get a stop defensively. You have to figure out offensively what you do well. And they found that the last drive with James Lozano is a good, tough, fullback-type runner. The more they can get the ball in his hands, I think they're going to find some positive yardage. They also have Blaine Varner, who had a nice play not long ago. So if I'm Frankfurt, I just try and figure out some positive yardage and some ways I can get first downs and stay on the field and see if I can get some points on the board and get back in this thing. But it has to happen now.
That ball ricocheted off Quincy Allen's hands and out of play. That's why he didn't see the flag that time, even though that kickoff went out of bounds. And so we will see if the Hot Dogs can indeed take it one play at a time. They'll have to march 80 yards in under 4 minutes and 6 seconds to try and get a touchdown here in the first half and get their first points of the 2025 season.
And the danger for them right now is that in Indiana high school football, we've got a rule that if the team gets up by 35 in the second half, they've got a running clock. So even if you do get a stop next time Clinton Prairie has the ball, it'd be really difficult for them to get back in the game with a running clock, so they have to score now.
Barkley rolls out. He'll go aggressive throw downfield, and that is picked off. It's Barkley's second interception on the night. Luke Harshberger this time on the receiving end of it. He had 2 tackles a week ago, and the young man's got himself an interception right in front of his own teammates to celebrate with.
Real nice play there by Harshberger. He's a multi-sport athlete at Clinton Prairie. Obviously good hands, good athletic play, broke on the ball, got it, and gives it all right back to his offense. And that's just real deflating for Frankfurt there as they're trying to make something happen offensively, and they tried to take something that really wasn't there on that play, and it winds up right back on the field for Clinton Prairie's offense, and they try to go into a halftime to get one more score.
So the struggles continue for Frankfurt on offense, and Clinton Prairie's looking for another touchdown here in the first half, and they're going to take some time to talk it over as well. As
that's a timeout by Frankfurt.
Schlickler's going to use, that is a timeout called by Kinsey. Good eye on you, Rob. And so what do you think the discussion is here from Coach Kinsey as he talks things over with his defense?
It's the same thing. It's sort of, we've just given the ball away now. We're down by a lot. We need to keep our defense focused and get a stop here. Let's do this job right now. Your job is to get a stop, and it's one thing at a time. It could be something that they're thinking about down the road, not just this game, because they're already down by really 4 touchdowns at this point plus. But defense, you've got a job to do right now. It's your job to stop them and keep them out of the end zone. Keep us without the running clock in the second half, and give yourself an opportunity to come back and get back in this game. And if they get back into it, that would be a big win for Frankfurt, win or lose. But right now, the job is keep them out of the end zone.
Last year in this matchup, it was 32 points that Clinton Prairie put on the board through 4 quarters. They've got an opportunity to score more than that here in the first half tonight, just to give you an idea of just how efficient the Gophers have been with the football.
And they've just been better up front. So the running game, it's been that second level all night long. They're averaging probably 8 or 9 yards a carry, maybe more than that. And they've also been given a short field a couple times.
And Allen will throw it. This is their lefty quarterback downfield to Jacobs, and he hauls it in. It crosses the goal line. Make that another touchdown for the Gophers, as you couldn't have asked for a better first half if your head coach, Kurt Schlicker, in his 4th season.
No, that was just a good athletic play, almost like a basketball box out right there. Just got in the defender's way, and Frankfurt's very deflated right now. And in their home opener, they're just not able to keep up with Clinton Prairie really up front or even athletically on the edges, and it's just a difficult night.
It's the second touchdown on the night from Jacobs. Both receiving touchdowns as Jacobs now in at quarterback here on this snap for the 2-point conversion. Runs it up the middle to Cooper, pushing forward and crosses the goal line. Cooper will make it 38 on another successful 2-point conversion. 3:54 left to play here in the first half.
Another good option motion there. They brought the back over from right to left, moved the defense, ran right back behind where the motion came from. Good open spot there from Cooper. Frankfurt couldn't step up and make the play, and 2-point conversion is good.
And we talked about just the versatility of having options to pass, having options to run that the Gophers have on offense in the pregame, Rob. And I think that's really been on display in the first half so far tonight, especially when you look at that last touchdown. I mean, it's a fairly deep ball when you're talking Indiana high school football to be connecting with your wide receiver on for the score, and then you've got the counterpunch with Hunter Cooper coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, you can see Clinton Prairie is a really good football team, and then that they got beat last week by Frontier is a little bit surprising. Frontier must be very good. I haven't seen them yet, obviously, but Clinton Prairie is a good team, and they're so far showing that they are.
And this one is returnable for the Hot Dogs as Allen tries to stay on his feet, gets just inside the 30-yard line, so right around Frankfurt's own 28-yard line is where this drive will start. 3:40. That clock is ticking out to our left here on the scoreboard with the band standing underneath off camera waiting to come out for the halftime performance.
Something I'd like to see from Frankfurt, and if you ask me what Coach Kinsey needs to work on, they need to go find people to hit and then maintain their blocks. On that kickoff return, they had a lot of guys backing up, not hitting anybody. And you've really got to be the aggressor. And so far, I think I've tried to teach my team, you've got to be the aggressor and deliver hits and find people to hit and don't sit back and play catch, which is what they did there on that return.
Vega in at running back again. This time the handoff goes to a player in motion, and Darren Barkley didn't go anywhere but took a late shove on the play, and we've got a flag down.
Another tackle there by Habenga. It's probably his 5th or 6th tackle already. Maybe I'm missing a few, but really good football player again. Just stepped up from that outside linebacker spot and made another tackle.
That late shove, though, is going to be costly for the Gophers. 15-yard penalty and a first down coming up for Frankfurt.
And if you're Clinton Prairie, you just can't do that. And the coach is going to call a timeout and tell them we can't do that. We're up 38-0. We can't give them gifts like that. Give them 15 free yards after a really good defensive play. We just can't be that undisciplined. We've got to maintain our composure and just play football. He called that timeout immediately. That's the message, I think, to tell his team. We cannot do that.
You're already in good control of the game on the scoreboard. Last thing you need is silly penalties. There's not a single coach you're going to find in America who's going to be okay with that.
That's exactly right. At any level, you just can't. Football is a tough physical game already, and you're making contact with the guy across from you, and it's a difficult game to maintain composure with anyway. But on a play like that, you get a really nice defensive play. You got a 3 or 4 yard loss. You've made your stop. You've done your job, and now you got a kid making a late hit or saying something he shouldn't say, getting unsportsmanlike conduct or a late hit or something, and gives them 15 free yards and a first down. So that's a message that you just can't have it. It's one of those things we just need to clean that one up as we get on toward the playoffs and have bigger goals.
We'll see if Frankfurt can make something out of this drive after getting the friendly 15-yard penalty. Barkley back under center. We'll see if the Hot Dogs can get that running game going as Barkley just pushes his way forward. We talked about it, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, as they say in the pregame. That's exactly what you're getting out of that play. A little bit more, though, than 3 yards. Looks like a 2nd and 6 is on the way for Frankfurt. And a 2-minute drill now with just over 2 minutes left to play in the first half.
I don't mind that call at all. It's positive yardage right now for Frankfurt. Small victories. Sometimes small victories are enough. And if I'm Clinton Prairie, I want to make sure I know what they're going to try and do to me. And if I'm Frankfurt, I'm going to try and get Lozano and Barkley and my better athletes the ball and try and find holes and find space. But they just don't have the speed to get outside. That's going to be up front.
As pitch goes out wide. And that's a nice pickup of about 6-7 yards as it shifted it back up toward the middle of the field. Davis Jaden is able to get the carry. We've seen Frankfurt get him the ball a couple of times in space today. He's made some good use of the green grass.
Yeah, he and Varner are the two kids that can get outside a little bit, so it's nice to see Frankfurt give it a shot. We got big Lozano in there in the backfield again. the fullback. I bet he gets this one up the middle again and try and get that 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's a big, tough athlete. We'll see if he can do it.
On a 3rd and 1, it is Lozano with the carry. Plenty of room to work with as well as he stretches across the 40-yard line. And 1:04 left to play here in this second quarter. Frankfurt trying to be more quick in between snaps here.
Really nice play there by Frankfurt. That's your bell cow now. You found something with him. He's touched it 4 times and probably has 25 or 30 yards now. So maybe you found something with him.
Now the pitch goes in motion, but the play goes absolutely nowhere as Darren Barkley got the call that time around and lost about a yard or 2 on the play. 35 seconds and counting left here in the first half. We'll see if that is the last play of the second quarter, as Frankfurt's going to try and get one more off.
And they may try and hit something deep. I'd drop a safety back if I were Clinton Prairie. They're maybe trying to throw it. They're not going to score on a running play probably, but
as it's just handed off to Vega, who bullies his way up the middle. Decent pickup on the play.
they've got one more timeout, don't they? Maybe they'll use it.
They do, but it doesn't look like Kinsey's going to elect to use it. They're trying to hustle to get one more snap off. Barkley spikes it, and the clock hits double zeros. And we'll see if the officials agree with that or if we're going to head into the halftime break.
We're going to give them one more, I think.
Clinton Prairie staying out there. You got the Frankfurt offensive huddle now over with their coaches on the sideline, likely trying to scheme something up to maybe get into the end zone here in the last play of the first half.
And what's your best single play from 36 yards if you can't throw the ball very well? What's your best play? Call that one.
If only it were so simple.
Yeah, some kind of a trick play probably wouldn't be the best call, but if you've got a hook and ladder, now'd be a good time for it.
Now's the time to get creative. Barkley, when he has thrown tonight, he has been under pressure. He does have 2 interceptions.
And again, it's the offensive line. They're not delivering the blows up front. They're sort of playing catch a little bit, allowing Clinton Prairie to control the line of scrimmage. But Clinton Prairie's got 4 safeties deep.
And it's a bobbled snap, and it's just a run play, and that's how the first half will come to an end. So more trouble for Frankfurt, looking for their first points of the 2025 season. And Clinton Prairie doing pretty well on offense. They've got 38 points to show for it. Rob and I will be back in just a moment. We'll break things down in the halftime break. So let's take a look back at some highlights and maybe what you can expect for the third and fourth quarters of this one. But right now, going into halftime, Clinton Prairie up 38-0 on Frankfurt of the ISC Sports Network.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
At Laser Edge Turf and Excavation, we take pride in keeping your property looking its best and your projects moving forward. From expert commercial and residential mowing to lawn fertilization that keeps your grass healthy year-round, we've got your yard covered. Need more than lawn care? We also specialize in directional boring, trenching, and full excavation work. Whether it's maintaining your curb appeal or tackling big jobs underground, trust Laser Edge and Excavation to get the job done right. Let us tackle your next project. Give us a call at 670-2286.
So we are at halftime. We're getting a good look at the Hot Dogs Marching Band, who are getting ready to perform in front of a good crowd here tonight at Frankfurt High School. As we welcome you back into the broadcast, I'm Harrison Silcox, Rob Albright with me up in the booth here as we get through our thoughts of the first half, presented by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. The elegance is really how, not really the way I would describe the Gophers' first half performance. I thought it was tough, it was physical, and very successful, Rob.
Haven't seen a lot of elegance in football maybe a little bit of finesse once in a while, but I wouldn't call it elegant either. I just would say that Clinton Prairie looks a little bit more polished, a little bit more just kind of, I'd say the word maybe mature on just being a football team. And Frankfurt still has a lot of kids who look like they're trying to learn how to play this game and then play together, and they've got a lot of youth on the field. But late in the first half, I was happy for Frankfurt because they did find something. They got some positive yardage. Granted, a lot of it came on a penalty, but they found some speed on the outside with Jaden Davis, some more with Blaine Varner. But then they obviously found my man James Lozano up the middle, and he's a kid that I'd like to see touch the ball a lot more. What I haven't seen yet, and this is my fault, this is kind of what his role's been on defense, so maybe he's a two-way kid. But offensively, they did a really nice job. And then, obviously, Clinton Prairie has several kids that are very athletic, very good offensively, led, of course, by Hunter Cooper, their tailback, who has a couple of touchdowns so far and probably over 100 yards already, and just a really, really good, solid football player. And then they have, obviously, had a lot of good contributions from several other players, including Braden Jarbo with a couple of touchdowns. So far, it's been about what we expected, honestly, but I'm really happy for Frankfurt that they did find something late.
Yeah, you talk about Frankfurt finding something late there in the second half. It's a run-heavy team, so really a big part of it is just finding ways to get advantage at that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, indeed. And like I said before, the rule in Indiana is if a team's up by 35, they have a running clock in the second half, and that can't stop even if the league gets inside of that. So we're going to have a running clock in both quarters, so really difficult without some turnovers for Frankfurt to get back in it. So Clinton Prairie probably will run the ball, keep it on the ground for them, and I think we're going to see some more kids get touches and some more opportunities. And I'd be really shocked if Clinton Prairie throws it a whole lot in the second half. But Frankfurt has some things they can build on and some things they can do to see if they can improve and go into week 3 in their game next week.
Well, we'll see if they can do just that. We'll take a look back at some first half highlights. On the other end of this break at the half, 38-0, Clinton Prairie in front of the ISC Sports Network.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable. To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99. Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Whether you dine in or carry out, the South Fork restaurant is known for daily lunch and dinner specials, world-famous hand-battered tenderloins, fresh, never-frozen whole catfish, and award-winning onion rings. The kitchen is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Come join us at 105 South Glick Street in Mulberry or visit southforkpub.com for the latest menu options. The South Fork Restaurant, a proud supporter of Clinton Prairie Athletics.
Davis Comfort Solutions.
At Davis Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling, the name says it all. Davis Comfort Solutions will keep you comfortable all season long with 2 locations, Fowler and Colfax. They service most of central Indiana.
We've got the air necessities, great service and efficiencies, bringing peace and comfort to your life.
DavisComfortSolutions.com.
As we take a look back at some first half highlights here, this is Hunter Cooper, 28 and white. You'll see a lot of him in this highlight package. Presented by Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town. It's Cooper up the middle again. He's back in the first quarter of play. This is your opening drive from Clinton Prairie. As you see, it was a heavy dose of Cooper to start the game. He was a big part of that march inside the red zone and down in the end zone. That's Brady Allen on the scramble on this play to help set up the Gophers just inside the 15, and then the drive, as you see there, was finished off by Hunter Cooper. Now showing off some of the passing game that the Gophers do bring to the table. That's Kuzmix, their righty quarterback, finding Jackson Price in the second quarter. Now the lefty Allen, as he found the big Trenton Kaiser and the junior on a first down play there. And this was a heave to the end zone and a fantastic catch, and then move after the catch for the touchdown from Kai Jacobs. His first and not his last in that first half. This is the first of 2 interceptions, and you saw it on the left side of your screen. It was a huge block thrown on Frankfurt quarterback Dennis Barkley after the Jacobs interception. It was a blindside block, so that was not actually a touchdown, but this is what happened after the flag on that same drive. This is in the late moments of the first quarter. As Cooper breaks free once again, a big hole to the right, marching forward before being dragged down by a group of tacklers. And then the beginning of the second quarter, it didn't take long for the Gophers to get their third touchdown of the opening half, as Cooper stretches just inside the 5-yard line. And this is Jarbo making a man miss just across the goal line, get the pad level down, and 6 on the board, and a successful 2-point conversion done by Jarbo as well. As you get a look at some of the good that happened for Frankfurt offensively there in that first half. That was a nice run broken to the outside by Blaine Varner. That drive, though, did indeed stall. And then this man went right back to work. Hunter Cooper just marching and marching and marching. And then it's Kuzmix on the heave. And watch the catch from Jarbo in traffic. Somehow comes down with the ball. And then a pitch out to Cooper for another score in the first half for the senior running back. And then this was the second interception on Barkley, as you get another look at Frankfurt offensively, some of the work that they were able to get done. But again, not a whole lot of daylight, as that was Lozano on a big third down conversion that picked up the first down. So a few of the highlights that helped get us to where we are at now. After what you saw there, the Gophers still had a little bit more in their bag, put a couple more touchdowns on the board to make it 38-0, a few more successful 2-point conversions as well. And that is how we've gotten to the halftime break with a 38-point advantage on the scoreboard for the Gophers. As far as what you can expect in the third and fourth quarters, Rob and I will try to give that our best guess right after this on the ISC Sports Network.
If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention, each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network, backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications, offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference.
Frankfurt Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfurt, Indiana.
At Day and Genda Funeral Home, we embrace change while staying true to timeless values. Our commitment to putting families first remains steadfast. With up-to-date practices and unwavering compassion, we offer the highest quality of service for your loved ones. Trust to serve your family with a classic commitment in modern times. Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family first.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
And welcome back to our halftime show. I'm Harrison Silcox. Rob Albright's up here with me in the press box with Frankfurt's trailing 38-0 to Clinton Prairie in a cross-county battle. And Rob, I'll tag you back in here for this segment as we look to what adjustments could possibly be made here in the third of the fourth quarter. This is presented by JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service and driven to remove. So, Rob, I'll go ahead and bring you back in here as we take a look at what we could expect in the third quarter. When you talk about adjustments, that may not be something that you really think would come with a team who's up 38-0 in the Gophers. But what adjustments might we see, or maybe we see none at all?
Well, you're smart. It's a good comment that you made, because if you're up 38-0 against a team that you, and I mean no disrespect at all to Frankfurt, but Clinton Prairie is a better football team right now, and so they may not be in 6 weeks, but today they are. So as an adjustment, what I really want to make sure I do, and a team that got beat a week ago, is how sound can we be in the second half? I want to make sure I maintain my discipline. We avoid penalties. We take care of the football. We still hold our blocks. We create holes. We make good tackles. It's not as much adjustment as it is just the maintenance of focus and to say, hey, listen, this is a game we know that we should win. We're now up 38-0 in the second half. There's less, barring a kind of a catastrophe. We've got this game in hand. So how can we as a team work on getting better, even though we know we kind of control the game a little bit? So that's if I'm Coach Slicker, that's kind of what I say to my team. Coach Kinsey, to me, for Frankfurt, we're going to build on what we found. We found some things up the middle with different players. We found some ability to get outside with Varner and Davis and Lozano up the middle, and we know we don't throw it very well. So let's kind of work on some things we do well, and we have the ability now to get some yardage. And what I really want to see is a defensive stop, and I want to see some points on the board. Let's just start with that, small victories, knowing that this week probably isn't going to pay off. But down the road, if we can maintain that focus, come in tomorrow, watch film, get treatment this week, get a good lift in on Monday, and then go back to work on Tuesday, building on those little things, maybe next week can be a better game for us.
Well, those defensive stops, we did not see one of those from Frankfurt there in that first half, as the Gophers never punted the ball. They finished each and every one of their drives. As we do get closer to the second half, a reminder, you mentioned a couple times already, Rob, but we are going to see a running clock here until the game ends. So what challenges does that present for Coach Kinsey and Frankfurt as they are trying to work through some of those growing pains of a team that's in transition? You've got a first-year head coach. It's not his first time being a head coach, but it's his first year with this program. You've got a team that's trying to also replace the production of a guy who they lost after last season, who ran for over 2,000 yards on the ground, which is part of the reason why you're seeing Barkley run the ball more. So when you've got the running clock in a game that's just naturally going to end quicker, I mean, what kind of challenges does that propose for a team that's trying to work through some things and find its identity?
You used the right word. The right word's program. This is, as a kid, you have to understand you're part of a team, but you're also part of a building program. A coach who's in his first year wants to come in, do things his way, establish how he does things. And I'll go down to Bloomington. Everybody here knows about Kurt Signetti. He came down to a place that didn't have a lot of culture and said, okay, this is how we're going to do things, and this is non-negotiable. And so it's a little bit more difficult in high school because you can't really control who comes through the door, especially in a community high school. But he can say, look, this is how we're going to play. This is how we're going to do things. If you want to see the field for Frankfurt, this is how you're going to play. And if I were him, I would be in the position to say, okay, I need to see some toughness. I need to see some resilience out of you. I need to see, even though we're going to get limited possessions, and I'd be shocked if they touch the ball more than 3 times in this half. So I think this game is going to really depend a lot on just kind of how quickly that Clinton Prairie wants to score, or they want to control the ball a little bit. So if I'm Frankfurt, I want to focus on stops. I want to get points on the board, and I want to see toughness. I want to see lower pad level. I want to see what kind of heart my kids have. I want to see who's out here just to kind of wear a uniform and who wants to play football. And that's, if I'm a coach, that's what I'm looking for right now. Is okay, we're not going to win this game. Put that away. What can we learn? What can we get better at? And we're going to see really who wants to be out there or not.
Sounds good. Well, we've got the third quarter coming up next. I do want to mention the guy who brought up Kurt Signetti did play football for IU. I was waiting for that one to come, Rob, as soon as you told me that. But, no, it is a good call-out, and we will see what we get from Frankfurt here as we get ready to start the third quarter. That's on the other side of this break on the ISC Sports Network.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523. At JXN Stump Solutions, we're rooted in service and driven to remove.
Running a small business. Your hands are full. We can help. FiberHawk partners with local companies by providing business class internet, phone, TV, and customized bundles to meet your needs. Our fiber-powered system delivers reliable speed with enhanced security. Running a business is tough. Contact FiberHawk today and let our expert team give you a hand.
Both teams warming up on the field, getting their final stretches in before we hit the beginning of the third quarter. And our broadcast brought to you by Abstract Technology Group, doing IT differently but making it simple. Abstract Technology Group does exactly that. Whether you're located in Indianapolis, Lafayette, or all points surrounding it in between, call 765-420-TECH or visit abstracttechgroup.com, where Abstract making it simple. So once again, I'm Harrison Silcox. Rob Albright's with me in the press box. As now we've kind of got that Friday night lights feel a little bit as the sun has now set. Floodlights are on above us. We talked before going to the break just about what kind of adjustments teams can make as we head into the third quarter. I think one thing that's interesting with Frankfurt, and this is not, I don't mean this as a negative or a positive, but it's a team that their offense is relied heavily on running the football. Where they've tried to air it out a couple times tonight. That's part of the reason why they have 2 interceptions. But they've just got to get that push at the line of scrimmage, Rob, and that's something that's just easier said than done for a team that's going to be so run heavy regardless of what they may see in the scoreboard.
Yeah, again, to me, it's just all about experience. And I don't know what youth football these kids played or whether they started playing even in junior high school. But if you've never played offensive line before, you've never really been taught you have to be the aggressor. And the problem you have with big kids, and I went through this as a kid, is your mom will tell you, be careful, don't hit because you're going to hurt somebody. So you have to develop that instinct kind of as an aggressive kid, and a lot of kids just don't have it. You watch what Frankfurt does up front. These big kids, they kind of stand up and they backpedal even on a running play, and they let Clinton Prairie control the line of scrimmage. It's happened several times. And if you don't get your head on the blocking side and you don't control the man across from you, you make it real easy for him to make a play defensively. And so what you have to really do if you're coaching is teach them how to be aggressive, how to create the hole. And you just have to. Football's a violent sport, but it's violent in short spurts. It's not violent all night long from a consistency standpoint. So for 7 or 8 seconds, give me violence, give me aggression. Just do it for 7 seconds, see what happens. And get the ball to the kids. We've seen that can make plays for them. It's just a matter of one thing at a time. So it's a hard thing to do to coach that during a game. But if I were him, that's kind of where I'd go.
You mentioned battle of the trenches. That was one of your keys to the game. And some may argue that's the most physical part of the game of football. As you get your D linemen, your O linemen, you line them up, and the closest to each other pre-snap, and then they just kind of run into each other at full force. There's a lot more technique and a whole sorts of other things mixed in there, but that's really the gist of it. And so far, it's been the Gophers who have gotten the better of that battle. That shows on the scoreboard and in the running game as well. Hunter Cooper, 3 touchdowns in that first half. But it is a returnable kick here for Franklin here to start the second half. And it's Darren Barkley who caught it and got just across the 25, almost to the 30. And we will see this rushing attack for the Hot Dogs back out onto the field, still looking for their first score on the season. Last week ago against Clinton Central, it was a 30-0 loss. It's Clinton Prairie who's looking to get the better of their 2 conference county foes this season. They have swept Clinton County the last 3 years.
So you can look here on the very first play, watch the line, and sort of see what Frankfurt's line does. If they make contact and push, you'll know that they got the message. If not.
So Barkley on the pitch out wide. It goes to the man to return the kick. And across the 40 and past the 45, Barkley tumbles down right around the 47. So it is Dennis Barkley finding Darren Barkley for the nice pickup.
And he found some space to the outside and got a nice big gain there. A little bit more than 20 yards, maybe 22 or 23 yards on that carry. By far their most productive offensive play of the night. Good for Frankfurt. Nice start to the second half.
Now Dennis Barkley going back under center. Francisco Vega tailing him once again as the running back. Tight end and wide receiver out to your right. Player goes in motion, and it's a pitch. Ball's down on the turf. Barkley trying to get on top of it. Did he cover it up and keep it alive? Frankfurt lost 2 fumbles last week. They've already had 2 turnovers tonight, those coming in the air. We'll see the signal from the official. I believe Barkley was able to get his hands back on the football. That's tough for the Hot Dogs, Rob. The drive was off to a pretty decent start off the Barkley carry in the last play, and then on a pitch that went out wide, Davis Jaden is in and out of his hands and on the ground.
I don't mind the call there, the execution of the play. You kind of need to throw that ball out in front of the running back, let him kind of run under it or run to it. That was more of a fastball right to his hand, which is why he fumbled it. But I don't mind that call. That's that same option motion that they've used several times, and they just did it again.
They did it again. This time, though, the handoff goes to Vega, who rolls his way across the 45. 3rd and long coming up. About 11 yards to go to the first down marker.
Dennis Barkley's got a little bit of a limp there coming under the side of the field.
This quarterback taking a lot of hits here early on in the season. Just being that close under center and as heavily involved in the rushing game as he is. He had 15 carries for 54 yards a week ago in that loss to Clinton Central. Led the team in rushing that game as well. And it's Vega again on the carry. Falls forward for about a yard. 4th and quite a ways to go for the Hot Dogs.
Interesting setup there for Frankfurt. They had a guy on their offensive left end who was angled as the play started, as he wasn't square up to the line of scrimmage. So they kind of gave away their plays, pushed back inside. The line didn't do a good enough job to give them some room to spring it. But
I believe that was sophomore tight end Josh Taylor as he's listed on the lineup. Big kid, 6'3", 255. It's part of that size that Frankfurt has. And this punt got a hand on it, and it is caught. Does not go nearly as far as the Hot Dogs would have liked it to. Braylon Hillman is the player who received it. You had a few bodies who got close to that football. I couldn't tell which player it was for the Gophers who did wind up tipping it, but that is a blocked punt as a whole bunch of defenders were in the face of Darren Barkley as soon as that football got to his hands.
And Clinton Perry comes back out with their number 1 offense, and their first offensive drive starts from Frankfurt territory. Not necessarily what Frankfurt was after here. And I think Clinton Perry now just sort of plays ball control, and this one's in their pocket with only 7.5 minutes to go, basically in the third quarter.
From the Frankfurt 48, clock is moving, 7.5 left to go in the third. Cooper another carry up the middle, and he is earning those yards well tonight as he spins his way down close to the first down marker, just inside the 40. 1 yard go to get the first down.
I love watching him run. If you watch the highlights at halftime, watch him run on that play. He really finishes, and a good running back will almost always fall forward. And at this level, remember the Purdue tailback Mike Allstott, he runs like that. Every play is a finish. He's always falling forward. He's always getting positive yards, not being driven backwards. So this time we've got Jarbo in the backfield. We'll sort of see what he does.
Jarbo gets his number called. Good carry up the middle. Room to work with as well. Sheds one tackler and then gets wrapped up by a few before being brought down at the 25.
I think if I'm Coach Kinsey for Frankfurt, the one thing I really want to work on, and this is so hard to do during a week of practice when you've only got a couple days in pads. They've really got to work on their physicality and really work on their physical toughness. Because even on that tackle, he grabbed and then dragged him backwards into his own red zone instead of delivering a blow and trying to stop him. That's something that takes really difficult to teach, but so important in football.
6:15 left to go in the third. Allen back in as quarterback. Jarbo staying as the running back to his right. And it's Jarbo who gets the carry, puts the pads down, and tumbles forward for some more.
And again, he just finishes that run going forward. He gets hit 5 yards into the carry and then drags for 2 more yards. So right here it's the hit there, and there's 2 or 3 more yards after contact. That's just the one thing Clinton Prairie is doing that Frankfurt's not. So nice physical carry there by Jarbo, and Clinton Prairie's knocking on the door again down in the red zone at the 17.
Jarbo mentioned him earlier, second on the team in rushing last season, first on the team in receiving. He's a versatile weapon at the Gophers have at their disposal. Kuzmik Sennett, quarterback again, gives to Jarbo. It's his third straight carry, cutting back upfield, picking up that first down and just inside the 10 as the Gophers getting close to that end zone once more.
Clinton Prairie's doing a really nice job of moving linemen. They're bringing a guard pulls almost every single play, and they're getting good seal on the outside. The pulling guard gets to the linebacker. Good job there by Jarbo cutting back inside of that and ended up with about a 7 or 8 yard gain for the first down. Clinton Prairie also doing a nice job kind of controlling their clock. They're not in any hurry. Play clock down to 20 seconds. But every single play they're going to use 25 or 30 seconds of that play clock and not be in too much of a hurry.
Shotgun formation again for Allen. Still 10 seconds to get the snap off as you've got every single pass catcher on this play in motion except for Jarbo. Then Jarbo gets the pitch, and Lozano nearly blows up the play in the backfield. Jarbo breaking free and somehow manages to get maybe a yard on the play.
Lozano's upset. He wants that one back. He made a really nice play. Wrapping, just needed to hold on a little bit more. Maybe stay up a little bit stronger instead of fall to the ground. But good defensive play, just didn't finish it.
James Lozano, 5'9", 215-pound junior. Nearly blowing up that play into the backfield. Would have been a massive tackle for loss at this end of the field. It was about a yard that Jarbo picked up. Came up limping a little bit on the play, but he stays in as the running back to the left of Allen and gets the carry. Jarbo, though, tackled and spun down to the ground. Minimal yards gained once again. And I believe that was Lozano who broke free for the tackle again.
Yeah, the right defensive end there, 44. That's Logan Light, was unblocked coming off that right edge and made a nice play there. I think kind of missed assignment for Clinton Prairie on that play. One of their very few tonight on the running game.
It was actually Naman Martinez credited with the tackle there. So third down coming up and goal. Hand off to Jarbo once more. This time he's got to hold up the middle and stretches that ball across the goal line. And the Gophers score once again as it is up to 44 with a 2-point conversion likely on the way.
That was a good old-fashioned just trap play again. They moved to the lineman. They brought the left guard over and got a good seal block right inside of that, just inside on the what they call the A gap, just outside the center. Trap play up the middle. Nice, easy touchdown there for Clinton Prairie. Good play, well executed.
3 players with multiple touchdowns on the night for Clinton Prairie. Hunter Cooper, one of them, Kai Jacobs, another. And that drive was a whole lot of Braden Jarbo who finished it off. Allen shotgun formation on the 2-point conversion. It's Jarbo again. Ball is out. His 2-point conversion unsuccessful as Frankfurt jumps on top of the loose ball. And so that is how that drive will officially come to a close with Dennis Barkley grabbing a hold of a loose football. And with 3:03 left to play, we will step aside for just a moment. 44-0, Clinton Prairie on top.
At Laser Edge Turf and Excavation, we take pride in keeping your property looking its best and your projects moving forward. From expert commercial and residential mowing to lawn fertilization that keeps your grass healthy year-round, we've got your yard covered. Need more than lawn care? We also specialize in directional boring, trenching, and full excavation work. Whether it's maintaining your curb appeal or tackling big jobs underground, trust Laser Edge and Excavation to get the job done right. Let us tackle your next project. Give us a call at 670-2286.
Welcome back to Frankfurt High School. Harrison Silcox and Rob Albright with you tonight. We thank you, those of us who are tuning into the stream. Good night for Gophers fans as they're getting ready to kick off once more tonight. If this score stays, it'll be the largest margin of victory in the series between the two schools. It's Frankfurt, who had previously held that a 53-12 win back in 2020. As this kick will stay in play. Barkley trying to find a seam. Barkley does just that. Kicker to beat, and it's two Gophers who do eventually bring him down. It might be a little too late, too little for a juice play, but you take the small victories when you can get them, Rob, and that is one of the better plays we've seen all night from Frankfurt coming on special teams.
I didn't catch the number, but there was one really key block there. It just took a little bit of contact, almost late, but it was enough and just sprung him out to the 46-yard line. So you're kind of seeing some things from Frankfurt. They do have a few athletes who can get some things done. It's a matter of getting them all in the field and getting them enough rest so they can go for 4 quarters on both sides of the ball, as my big boy Lozama's in the backfield, and there he is with the football.
And that quickly goes nowhere. You've got 3 different Gophers who are in to break up the play. Carson Neal being one of them.
Yeah, no one blocked him there, number 10. Just Mason Ingram just made a nice little play there in the hole. No one blocked him. Wrap tackle. Good job.
Well, Barkley gets the call from head coach Kinsey on the near sideline. Walks back over to the huddle. Spread the word to the rest of the boys as they get ready for this next play. 1:40 left to go here in the third quarter. As expected, this half flying by with that running clock.
Yeah, that's a good rule. I don't love it for the kids, but I kind of do love it for just the scores. And
bad pitch, huge mistake here. It's another fumble. This one is actually going to be a fumble lost, and Clinton Prairie will get the football right back as Barkley tried to pitch the football out to his right. And you can see his frustration there as it is another mistake for the Hot Dogs offense. It's been a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough film session tomorrow, and this is going to be a really important week for Frankfurt. Obviously, a bunch of kids that just don't have a lot of experience playing football and not a lot together. Brand new system, and that's just been a bad recipe for them tonight. So I hope they can keep their heads up again, find something positive tonight to go into tomorrow with and into next week.
And handoff up the middle once more. Gophers just trying to work some clock as we're under 30 seconds now. We'll see if they do try to get another play off before we head to the fourth quarter.
I'd be surprised if they do.
It looks like they may try, Rob, as there's a play call that looks like is being communicated to everyone out there.
I think they're going to go to the sideline and let this quarter run out. They don't have to run this thing up anymore.
I think that's going to be exactly the case. Before we hit the break, we want to mention broadcast brought to you by Davis Comfort Solutions. At Davis Comfort Solutions, we understand that your comfort is important. That's why our team of highly experienced technicians will strive to be your go-to when it comes to your home, shop, or business's heating and cooling needs. For more info on financing and special offers, visit us online at daviscomfortsolutions.com. Fourth quarter coming up after this, 44-0, Clinton Prairie on top.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
And here we go, just about ready for the fourth quarter of play. And it is a pitch out to the left and a decent pickup for the Gophers, as head coach Kurt Schlicker will go deeper into his roster and use some of the depth here late in this one.
I'm going to just call him Joel. Nice carry there, but from him, his first touch of the night.
And a quarterback, by the way, and he was in late there in the third quarter, is Jackson Miller. Just a freshman on the Clinton Prairie roster.
Good to get some JV kids some time. Late in games like this is kind of what you want to do. Your first teamers did their job. Now it's somebody else's turn the rest of the night.
So it's going to be an option here. The quarterback's going to keep it on the option. That is Jackson Miller. By the way, in the last carry, Joel is indeed that young man's first name, but Rob and I are smart enough to know a last name that we can't pronounce when we see it, so we will keep calling him Joel.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
I didn't want our audience thinking that you just made up Joel because you felt like it. That is his actual name.
I can spell his last name for you, but there's no way I'm trying that one without practicing it first. I apologize. I didn't know that he'd get as much time as he's going to get, but
yeah, well, hopefully Joel could take advantage of it.
Hopefully Joel can.
It's a 4th and long. Good time for some of these young players to get some minutes. That is one thing Kurt Schlicker did mention in the preseason. Coming up this year, he's like, we got 18, 20 freshmen, who are joining this team that he's looking forward to coaching them, developing them over the next few years. As Miller's trying to air one out. It's picked off, but a whistle blew the play dead.
A nice catch, though.
That was a nice
catch. Going back
catch.
over his shoulder.
Good way of tracking the football up there in the lights.
Number 5, Mathis Thomas, probably a good baseball player, making a play over his shoulder like that.
It is a penalty pre-snap, it looks like, against Clinton Prairie that has them walking back.
And you can really see the drop in size and in drop in speed and drop in experience from Clinton Prairie. Their first team was really real sharp, and the second team so far has not been.
Miller swings one wide here. And that's probably going to be a face mask, as being dragged to the ground was Xander Dean, another freshman getting some action here late on. And it did look like a hand possibly move that helmet to its side a little bit. So tough break there for the Hot Dogs. That's going to be a first down picked up here. And while the officials sort that out, would like to also thank JXN Stump Solutions. Tired of unsightly tree stumps ruining your yard? Let us take care of it. We've got the equipment and experience to get the job done right. We offer 3 tiers of service that will rejuvenate your yard, all at competitive, budget-friendly rates. Call 765-242-9523 today for a free estimate. JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. 1st and 10, coming up here, 20 seconds to get the snap off for the second stringers, as Joel does get the pitch out to his left, rumbles forward for a couple.
And I feel badly there for Frankfurt. That would have been their first stop of the night, and the face mask took that away from them. I'm disappointed for them. I hope they can get the stop here just to give themselves some positive energy for their week, because going down 44-0 against a crosstown rival in a game that, frankly, you came into thinking maybe you had a shot to compete in is really difficult for a team like the Hot Dogs.
Tough for the Hot Dogs, still looking for their first win in over 2 years now. Won their home opener back in 2023. 0-10 a year ago. As the Gophers was actually a loss of a yard on that last play. Joel getting back-to-back carries. This one a handoff as he gets slammed down to the ground. No pickup there. 7:55 left to play here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, nice tough tackle there by 25. That's Naman Martinez. Good play there. Good football play. He's made a few tackles tonight. 185-pound junior. Back for another year, so good time for him to learn and become better. Be part of that program we talked about.
We'll see if Martinez and the rest of the program out there on defense at the moment can get their first stop of the night. Mentioned just a little bit ago, Rob, that face mask prevented that. They've got another chance here, 3rd and very long. Miller's out of the shotgun formation. 2 running backs lined up to either side of him. Now one of them goes in motion out wide, and a whistle will stop play. and we get a timeout. And while we are on a break of the action, also want to thank once again the Frankfurt Eagles. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Frankfurt Eagles, Post 976, serving our community since 1905 with over 900 members locally. The Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfurt. Also, Day and Genda Funeral Home. Tonight's game is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home with locations in Frankfurt, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Day and Genda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information on our services and community involvement, please visit dayandgenda.com. Day and Genda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. So out of the timeout, 3rd and 11. Hot Dogs looking for their first stop on the night. Miller still in there at quarterback for Clinton Prairie. He will roll out to his left and run to his left. Quarterback run all the way. Miller goes nowhere. He gets wrapped up and shoved out of bounds. And 4th and long.
There was no circumstance under which he was giving that ball up. That was his carry the whole time. He had the option. He just wasn't going to take it. That was his carry the entire way. He wanted some yards on his own. Good for him.
So we have not seen any kicking game from really either team. We've seen a couple kickoffs go out of play for the Gophers, Rob. So probably where they're at right now, it was always going to be 4-down territory. This is the real chance for Frankfurt to get their first stop this evening. Miller back in at quarterback. 3 wide receiver set as he drops back, looks to his right, airs one toward the end zone. A great throw and a great catch as well. Cohen Bales, a freshman, connecting with another freshman for the score. And that racks it all the way up to 50 with 6:20 left to play in the 4th quarter. The Gophers with another big play here.
Yeah, it's a nice throw and a nice catch. I don't care how old you are. You've got a varsity touchdown now. You can tell your kids about it. If that's your only one, at least you got one you can talk about. So a lot of people never get an opportunity to do that. They've done it now as freshmen. So congratulations to them on a nice play. And again, Frankfurt has just a lot of work to do. And even on the coverage there, they just kind of didn't get back there in time and let somebody get behind them on 4th and 10. That's something you just simply can't do. So another thing for Coach Kinsey to work on is you cannot let someone behind you, especially on a 4th down play with no safety help.
So the Hot Dogs, chance to get their first stop of the night, unable to do so. Here's Joel on the 2-point conversion. Got close to the goal line, but the ball did not cross the plane in the eyes of either official standing at either pylon. So the score stays at 50 with 5:53 left to play in the 4th quarter. We are back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Welcome back to Frankfurt High School. Harrison Silcox, Rob Albright with you. Later here into the Friday evening, it has been all Clinton Prairie 50-0 as they get ready to kick off once again.
I do want to recognize the Frankfurt cheerleaders have been enthusiastic and very invested in this game all night long. And a real tough night for them and their crowd, but they've done a nice job staying involved. And I love seeing that. School spirit's a great thing.
It's another returnable kick. We saw Barkley find a window in the last one. And this one gets pushed up to about the 45 is where the ball's going to be spotted. To your point about the cheerleaders and the school spirit, it's been a great home crowd here to kick off the season for Frankfurt as well.
It has. They've got a great little facility here. The field looks fantastic. It's been a beautiful night weather-wise here in northwest Indiana, Clinton County.
That's just where we're located. You've got Frankfurt in a new conference this year. First year of the conference's existence. You got the Monon Conference. It's 8 Central and Western Indiana schools joining in as Frankfurt makes the jump from the Sagamore Conference over into the Monon for its first year in existence. Rob, it'll be interesting to see how that conference plays out this year.
Yeah, they've got a lot of people from a lot of schools from the Crawfordsville area, some from Hendricks County. This sort of just a new conference. Sometimes you takes a little while for them to get used to each other, but always good to see some new opponents and some new teams on your schedule, and they'll have that this year. So congratulations to them and the whole administration for the Monon Conference. A great name for the conference, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So all sorts of history there.
Yeah, so Crawfordsville has got a couple teams in this conference. So the Monon Bell is obviously the big game between the Little Giants and the DePaul Tigers. So good name for their new conference.
One of the greatest football rivalries you'll find in the great state of Indiana.
You been to one of those games before?
I have not, but I've heard stories.
It is a blast. I've only been to a couple, and I walked away really impressed. I was unprepared to really enjoy that game as much as I did. I've been to a couple, and they're wonderful.
Well, you talk to people involved in it, whether it's students or they played in the game, you'll come across stories of people who've gotten a hold of the Monon Bell and things like that. I mean, it is a real classic rivalry as you kind of imagine it when you see it in movies and TV shows, right? The whole joke of you're stealing a team's mascot or something like that. That kind of stuff is very much alive in that rivalry. It is a great tradition that we have here in the state of Indiana as a fourth down is coming up here for Frankfurt.
It's one thing to steal a goat. It's a whole lot different to steal a 600-pound metal bell.
And, hey, I mean, it's college kids. They're going to give it their best effort.
Yes, they are.
They absolutely do in that rivalry.
Yes,
they are. Yeah, Clinton Prairie, it's been a good showing tonight for them. Obviously, you see it on the scoreboard, Rob, but you also just look at Indiana high school as a whole in the last handful of years and the product of football that this state is putting out there really seems to be improving on an annual basis.
So it's just fun around here because we were the quote-unquote basketball state for so long, and this year when the Pacers had their success, you still saw that. We're still a very passionate basketball state. But thank you to Peyton Manning and to the Colts organization for making this a very, very good football state from the high school level really on up. And now you've got Notre Dame, who's always been good. Now IU's good. Purdue's got a new coach and a bunch of new players. They've got some hope. We just talked about the Monon Bell, one of the best rivalries in college football. It's just becoming a much more, I guess, important and focusing on football state. And it's neat to see that because Friday Night Lights is just nothing like it. I mean, we saw it tonight in little Frankfurt, Indiana. Great crowd, great cheerleaders, great atmosphere. There's just nothing like it.
Yeah, it's a good time, a great weather too. You mentioned how ugly it was Labor Day last year. You had all sorts of weather delays in the state of Indiana. Some games had to be pushed back another day. Some even had to be canceled. As you see that pass fly incomplete. It's going to be a turnover on downs for Frankfurt. While we transition from defense to offense for both these teams. Also want to thank Healthy Communities of Clinton County. The Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition understands the important role healthcare coverage plays for athletes and their families. We partner with CKF to provide free, expert assistance to enroll, use, and maintain affordable coverage. Our certified navigators are able to set for uninsured Hoosiers as a trusted teammate. Call 1-888-975-4CKF and tell us the county where you live or work. Also, the Willow Creek Barn. Attention all you engaged couples out there tuning in tonight. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfurt, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit the willowcreekbarn.com. As you saw, a handoff not really go very far there for the Gophers as they just look to kind of put a bow on this game and what's been a very successful outing as they get their first win of the year. They're going to go to 1-1 after this.
They'll probably just take a knee here as they're inside 40 seconds. Once that play clock starts the next time, this game can be over. So one more play offensively, and this one's in the books. So good showing by Clinton Prairie. Nice win for them. They've got a lot to work on, obviously, but they've got something now they can build on. They've found what their weapons are and what they do well. Their line played great, at least I thought they did. And then Frankfurt has an opportunity now to get their players back on the field, know who they've got they can count on, and go in the next week trying to get a little bit better.
And for Clinton Prairie up next for them, they're at Clinton Central. That is who beats the Hot Dogs 30-0 a week ago. Up next for Frankfurt as they still search for their first win since 2023 is back here on this field against Greencastle. Now, there's always next week. You try to have a short memory with this for the Hot Dogs. Didn't go the way they wanted it to. It's Clinton Prairie winning this one 50-0 as we wrap up really the game broadcast. We still got the post-game show, but before we hit our last break, also want to thank Mulberry Telecommunications. Let us be the first to welcome you to the Fiberhood. Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer super fast, reliable internet with gigabit speed, streaming TV packages, and voice solutions. Sign up today at mintel.net or call 765-296-2885 for more information. Once again, I'm Harrison Silcox. Rob Albright here with me as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll break down a little bit of this one and the postgame after this on the ISC Sports Network.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523. At JXN Stump Solutions, we're rooted in service and driven to remove.
And we welcome you into our post-game show, brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. And Rob, you've got two choices to go from either team here. You can either go with a player from Clinton Prairie, or you can go with a player from Frankfurt, but we are looking for a player of the game. It is brought to you by the Frankfurt Eagles. I think you're going to maybe go Clinton Prairie here. There's kind of 3 or 4 guys I'm maybe thinking about here, but who are you thinking as your player of the game?
If I'm going player of the game, it's Hunter Cooper. I thought he controlled it early. That Jarbo had a great night. A couple other guys from Clinton Prairie did, but if I were going to pick one, it would be Hunter Cooper. I thought he was the key to their offense early, controlled the game. Like I said, I loved how he finished his runs. He was positive all night long, and I thought he was the guy that if I had a vote, that's who I'd choose. Who would you choose?
I would lean Cooper as well, and I thought Jarbo was a fun wide receiver to watch tonight as well. Kai Jacobs had some huge receptions, but when you talk about consistency from a guy who just really was on the gas pedal, play in and play out for the majority of this game, I felt like Hunter Cooper, the running back, was the tone setter, but
what does he win?
Three different players with multiple touchdowns on the night. You really can't go wrong with either one of those guys.
What does he win? He wins a free gift certificate from Day and Genda Funeral Home, right? That's what he wins for being player of the game. No, he was really a good player, solid all night long, and I thought he led. I thought he did exactly what they asked him to do, finish plays, and was exactly what they needed him to do, and I agree with you. Just overall consistency, he was the guy to me.
Once again, that's Rob Albright providing his insights very well all throughout tonight's game. I'm Harrison Silcox. Before we get out of here, would like to thank Abstract Technology Group, doing IT differently, making it simple. Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family first. Fiberhawk, fast, affordable Fiberhawk. Also, Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. The Frankfurt Eagles Post 976, people helping people. And then also the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. One more time, I'm Harrison Silcox. Rob Albright with me tonight. 50-0 your final score. Clinton Prairie with the win. The Hot Dogs have Greencastle next week as they fall to 0-2 tonight. That's all for us on the ISC Sports Network.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics.